All right, we're back with the 2004 Polaris Sportsman 600 Twin. I think this is the fourth video on this thing, and hopefully the final video. So we bought this thing for 700 bucks a couple weeks ago, and we basically had nothing but problems with this thing. The push rods were off of the engine, off the rockers. We had to fix that. The water pump was leaking coolant into the oil. We fixed that. Then we got it running perfectly, but then it was smoking a ton. Like, just a ton of smoke. You guys can check out the last video and see how much it was smoking. It was just insane. So I ended up tearing down the top end. Again, the guy rebuilt it right before he sold it to me. But he actually installed the piston rings upside down. So I've got the pistons down here. The rings have numbers on them, or letters or markings. And he actually, you can see them right here. I don't know if you guys can see them. They're right here. It says 1R. So those letterings and markings on top of the ring need to be facing up. You install these up. They were installed down like that. So there's actually a little bevel. It's very hard to see on these rings. And what happens is that actually pushes the oil back down, scrapes the oil from the cylinder wall, pushes it back down if you have it the correct way. If you have it flipped around, it pushes the oil up into the cylinder. And then your engine's gonna burn the oil in the cylinder. So that was the main culprit. Also, a piston ring was stuck onto the piston. So we ended up getting a whole new kit here. These are the pistons that were in it, and these are what we're going to use since the cylinder matches. They're actually pretty expensive pistons. I think the whole kit was like 200 something. Kalama pistons. Come with the rings, everything you need. And then it came with the top end gasket kit here. So today we are going to rebuild it, take it for a test drive, and then cross our fingers and hope it doesn't smoke. Because I am sick of working on this thing. I've torn this thing down so many times. So let's get going with it. Hopefully today's the day we get this thing running perfectly. Alright, so I mentioned this last video, but these are nickel plated cylinders, and to test to see if they are, you take a magnet and you see if they stick to it. And it'll stick a little bit, but it'll be like super weak. So see how it barely sticks? That's kind of how you know it's nickel plated. So these are obviously nickel. It's really not sticking very much to it. See that? There's like no resistance from the magnet. So with nickel plated, you don't want to hone it. You want to take some steel wool or an SOS pad and just lightly go around the cylinder and take off the excess layer that was caused by the piston. Get that cleaned out. The cross hatches are very visible in here, so I'm not too worried about it. You can see in here. They look perfect. And this is a brand new cylinder. It's only got about an hour of ride time on it, if that. Alright, let's check out the brand new pistons we got. Take a look. So they're 79.97 millimeters. Arrow is going to be pointing towards the exhaust of the machine. Make sure there's no burrs on the pistons. Everything looks good. We're just going to drop this one in the cylinder and just make sure it goes all the way through. Alright, that's not getting hung up anywhere, so that's good. Alright, let's check out the rings, circlips and pin. So this is where the previous owner kind of messed up the rebuild. got these rings. I know most people do mess this up. Like I said last video, it is pretty easy to do if you've never done it before. So the oil ring can typically go on either way. These two smaller rings go on. And there's no lettering or numbers on these, so these can go on either way. These are for the oil ring. But these main rings need to go on a certain way. I believe these are the same. Let's see. So you can see 1R right there on it. And there's 2R right there on it. So let's just see what they measure. Start with the 1R ring here first. We'll measure the ring gap. So you can see the ring gap right here. That's a tight one. That's going to be pretty tight. I think we might be about 13 thousandths, which is fine. We're actually at 12 thousandths, it looks like. So that's right on the verge of being too small. That's good though. So 12 thousandths is what that ring measures at. That's R1. Now we're measuring 2R. Let's see what that one's at. That one might be 13 thousandths. It's a little bit bigger than the other one. Might be 14. Yep, 14 thousandths. So that ring's a little bit bigger, but that's perfectly within spec. So that piston checks out. All right, so we've got the piston here. We've got the oil rings on. It doesn't matter which way you orientate the rings here. The rings that matter are the two here. So you can see on the Kalama pistons, there's one with 2R and one with 1R. So I could not find any information on which ring to put first. So there's a couple things to look for. There's actually a bevel on only one of them, it looks like, and that's the top ring, or the 1R ring. And typically, that would be the top ring. So we are going to put the 1R on the top ring and the 2R on the bottom ring. I actually posted this question over to my Facebook forum page called 2 Vintage Quad ATV and Dirt Bike on Facebook, and people responded within seconds. So if anyone has any questions about how to fix their bike, this is a great place to post your question. I get a ton of people messaging me on Instagram and stuff with questions, and it's hard to get to everyone. So if you want to post your question about how to fix your bike, this is a great place to go. So with knowing that, we're going to put the 2R ring, looks like this, on the second ring groove here, and then the 1R on the first ring groove. So let's get this ring on. That ring is on, and then the 1R with the number pointing up. You can see the 2R right there. You want those numbers pointing up. And then the 1R, you can see it right here. The 1R you want pointing up as well. So we're going to install that one. Alright. Now, you want to orientate these rings so that the ring gap is 180 out. So the bottom ring you want towards the back, front ring you want towards the front here. And then the oil rings, I have them spaced out a little bit here. You don't want them overlapping, so one right there, one right there, one right there, and one right there. So otherwise you're gonna have a smoky quad. So that piston's done. On to the next one. All right, piston number 2. Got the rings, got the piston, everything here. So let's open this up and do the same thing. This is going to be the left side piston here. So let's just see if it fits in here first. Make sure it goes in, doesn't get caught up on anything. Now we can check out the rings. So here are the rings. That one says 2R on it, right there. And this one again says 1R, right there. Let's check the 1R first. See what the ring gap is at. That's a very small ring gap. It looks like that one's going to be 12 thousandths. Yep, exactly 12 thousandths, so that's a tight ring gap right there. Second ring, the 2R ring. Shove that down there. Let's see what this one's at. A little bit bigger. 14 thousandths for that one. So we are good on the rings. We're going to install these the same way we did on the first piston. So 1R on the top, 2R on the bottom. Alright, we've got the surface all cleaned off. I took a razor blade, got off all the old gasket, and took brake cleaner, wiped it all down. We're going to put a little bit of the gasket maker around it. Gasket maker, as well as the gasket. This. Alright, gasket's on there now. It's looking good. It's all pressed down. Alright, we're gonna get the pistons on next. Alright, arrow pointing towards the exhaust here. Alright, then we just need the circlip in there. Kinda hard to see in here, but we're getting the second piston on here. It's all lubed up, ready to go. Arrows pointing towards the exhaust. Now we just need that circlip in there, and we're good to go. Alright, it's gonna be a little tricky getting the cylinder on and trying to film it. Both have to be in at the same time. Alright, we're going to go with a different approach. We're going to install the pistons into the cylinder first here. And then we're going to install the cylinder. So, make sure these rings are good. Alright, now we're going to install the cylinder. Pistons are in the right way there, so we're all good to go. What a pain in the butt that is. Alright, now we gotta get these circlips in. Alright, let's see if we can get the cylinder on now. Alright, she's on. Hopefully I never have to do that again. That was horrible. Look who decided to wake up from his slumber. He's got his bunny toy with him. Vinny, you wanna come help? You wanna come help, bud? It's like I'd rather just sit here on the treadmill. What do you got with you, buddy? What do you got? You want to come help? That was a good stretch. What do you think? You're a crazy dog, aren't you? Crazy dog. Yeah, you're such a crazy dog. Alright, so now we're working on the head here. We have brand new valve seals for this. These are in there. So we have to get the springs off and the valves out. We're going to lap the valves in as well. Make sure those are all good. Alright, let's get this spring off first here. Ooh. Goes off to the side. So you can see it's pretty carboned up. We'll clean these off. But those look pretty good. Not too bad. Get the next one off. Alright, there's that valve. Looking good. I'll show you guys the back side here. You can see the valve seats are actually perfect. Those look really good. Really smooth, no imperfections there at all. Alright, so I ended up cleaning up the valves here. This one actually looks like it's got a coating on it. I don't know if you can lap these, and it's not magnetic. So we're not going to lap the exhaust valves here, because I think it's a softer material than the intake valves. The intake valves are magnetic. And those look really good. We're just going to leave everything alone. We're not going to lap them. The surfaces look amazing. Everything looks perfect. I don't want to lap off any coating on these. I looked them up and it doesn't say anything about a coating, but it does say that these are high temp exhaust valves that came stock with this. So I believe those are coated in something. But we'll leave those alone for now. Just clean them up and reinstall them. We had no issues with the valves at all leaking. It was running perfect, so we are going to just reinstall those and not lap them. But we will replace the valve seals, so let's do that. So here are the valve seals right here. Get closer. Zoom in picture to these. Okay. Let's try to get these off of here. There's the old valve seal. So these, it looks like you just twist right off of here. Like that. Alright. Get the new ones on. I like to put just a little bit of oil on there. Press them on. There we go. There we go. Alright, those are good. Let's get these valves reinstalled and on to the next ones. There's the intake valve. There's the other valve. We'll get those cleaned up, get new valve seals on, and this thing will be done. Alright, gonna get these valve seals off of here. Just gonna twist till they break free and pull up. Same with this one. Those off a little bit. Alright, new one's going on. That one pushed right on, there we go. Alright, we gotta get the head gasket on. I'll actually put it on the head first. Alright, none of the head gaskets are pinched. Everything looks good there. Now we can get the big bolts in, torque those down. Alright, torque specs for the top are 35 foot-pounds. Let's get that going. Torque sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, 2 middle ones first here. Then the outside one, then opposite to the outside one. Down here. Alright, those are all torqued down, ready to go. Alright, now these rockers are going and we're going to Loctite the bolt threads right here. And then we've got the push threads already in right here, make sure they're all bottomed out. And we'll just put the rocker right over it and bolt that down. Pretty easy, you guys saw me take it apart, so it's not too bad. Alright, we can see all the valves, rockers, push arms, all are in. We're gonna quick try to see if it rotates over here. This is the scary part because there's no pull cord on this thing, so let's see if it turns over here. Oh yeah, we are going to be good. Seems really nice and smooth in there. So we gotta get the pipe on, valve cover on, intake on, all that stuff on. And then we can attempt to start this thing. Also, we've got to get some coolant in there too. All right, ATV is pretty much put back together here. Let's get some coolant in. Make sure we don't have any leaking going on. That's not good. Pouring out somewhere. Oh, that hose wasn't hooked up. Oops. That's why we check these things. Alright, we got the hose hooked up. All right, here we go, moment of truth. Will she fire up? and not smoke. All right, we've got the gas on. Choke it. Go. It's not good. Darn it, we got to hook up important line here. Our vacuum line wasn't hooked up to the carb. All right, vacuum line hooked up. Let's try this again. All that old oil. All right, so far so good, not smoking a lot. Not like it was before. I think it's just burning off the oil that we have on the reassembly. pistons and cylinder, so looking good so far. Kind of freaked me out there for a second when it didn't start. Alright, doesn't look like any smoke. Oh, finally, I think we fixed it. I think it's good. We'll see when we ride it, but no smoke when we rev it up. That is awesome. We're gonna get the whole thing back together, and I think I might check out the clutch too. It's making a little noise, just want to make sure that's not getting wrecked in there. So let's take off the clutch cover, check that out. So this footwell has to come out so you can get to the bolts and the cover off. To it. Alright. Now hopefully we can get this cover off. Just like that. It says Mother Clutcher. So there's a new clutch in here. Seems tight on there. We'll just zip that on a little bit tighter. Doesn't seem like it's loose, but it is a little wobbly. A little bit of play in there. Belt looks really good. Everything looks really nice and tight. Alright, cool. That all looks good. So actually I just found this little screw. It was in the clutch cover case. I put the clutch cover thing back on and this thing fell out. So maybe that was bouncing around in there. Alright, quick oil check before we take it for the first test drive here. Wipe that off. Make sure there's enough in here and that's not milky. As you can see, we're all the way up to the top mark. Not milky at all. So oil looks great. Perfect. All right, we made it out to the land. Let's see if she smokes today. I don't think it will. I think we got it fixed, but we'll test her out, really rip it for a little bit. We still have to kind of break it in. But yeah, I'm excited. No leaking at all from the engine so far. I let this thing run for probably 30 minutes. I did heat cycles on the pistons and starts right up, idles perfectly. Everything is perfect so far, but we'll see on the first ride. Should be interesting. Hopefully everything goes good because I'm not tearing this thing back down. Here we go. Let's see what she can do. Hopefully she won't start smoking. But so far she's running really good. The exhaust is just really loud. It's idling a lot lower than before too, which is nice. And it feels like it has a lot more power too. Let her warm up for a little bit. Let's see where she idles at here. 1360 RPM. Awesome. Alright, so let's start out in high here. Remember, we're breaking it in. Alright, zero smoke. That is awesome. Alright, first braking ride went perfectly. No issues whatsoever. No smoking. So, yeah, she's fixed. We've got one more break-in ride. And this thing will be good as new. Pretty sweet. No leaking, no smoking, no overheating. Yeah, she's good as new. Alright, here we go. Second braking ride. This time we're going to start out easy and then go full throttle and really brake in the pistons. absolutely zero smoke out of this thing. So this is officially fixed. We took it for the top speed run. Everything is perfect. All broken in. Everything's good to go. No rattling, no knocking. Engine sounds awesome. Like I said before, no leaking. So she's finally fixed after a few weeks of working on this thing. So I'm really happy. So this one is officially done. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the series on this $700 Polaris Sportsman 600 converted to 700 quad. Thing is running awesome, and it should be for a very long time. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for the next video, and until next time, we are out.